Hello and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Shawn.
And here we are again.
Yeah, and we have a cat.
We sure do. He's trying to stand on the Zoom.
Here's the thing. We're trying to do something different and more professional and by sitting on a table.
Oh, yes. Sitting at the table instead of on the couch.
Instead of on the couch holding our microphones. And I have a stand and Jen's holding hers because I don't have a stand.
Well, we'll get another one. It's fine.
Well, I have to figure out my situation here. But she's holding the mic and he is interested in
the cord.
In the cord and just about everything because we are doing something and not paying attention to him. Yep. Now he's got something on his nose.
Well, it's just his own fur.
It's his own fur.
You're a mess.
Yeah. So let's we have two comics today.
Oh man,
we're gonna do two books today.
Yep.
And I think we'll get into it. But actually, we do have a little. I want to actually start the show with a little bit of correspondence.
Oh shit!
That we received. And I think we'll.
Oh, we have not only that, but we have an announcement to make.
Well, we'll go ahead and make the announcement because I don't know what
we have an email address.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's worstcollectionever@gmail.com. So you guys can email us now if you want.
That's a proper email for the show.
Yes.
Not my work email, which doesn't exist anymore.
Right, because Sideshow is no more. So if you want to email us, please feel free to do so at worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you have any books that you want us to review, if you have any comments on the show or anything like that, I mean, you can always leave them on social media where people do that,
right? But if you feel more comfortable sending us an email, go ahead.
If you want to send us an email, if you want to get out of the rut of 140 characters, or you don't want to be seen, you just want to tell us things that you want to have in mind. It's worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
Yep.
Fascinatingly enough, that address is still not taken. No,
it was still available.
You'd think somebody would have.
I thought for sure we'd be like Worst Collection Ever 1 or something. Will you knock it off, please? You're such a jerk. Just because this is here doesn't mean you need to play with it.
Yeah.
Our cat's being an asshole. Because that's what cats do. All right, continue.
Okay.
Email us.
Yeah, so email us, but let's get into some correspondence here.
Sure.
I actually wanted to. I got a tweet.
Oh shit.
A tweet. I'm trying to think here. Did I miss any tweets from before? Because normally I realize it's like I get occasionally I'll get like a tweet,
right?
And I'll get a ton of tweets, but it's nice to share them. So
sure.
Figured we'll jump into it. So this tweet comes from a listener. It's TJ Wistrick. He is at twist_rock, ROCK, on Twitter. You can follow him there. And he asks, in relation to last week's episode, does Beast go to the barber for a bris?
Because we were talking about Beast's hairy situation.
Hair situation and general situation. And I responded, is Beast Jewish?
I don't think he is. I know the Thing is Jewish.
The Thing is Jewish.
But I don't know about Beast.
I don't think Hank McCoy is Jewish. I think I don't
know. I haven't read enough Beast comics to really be able to say.
Look, I could probably easily look this up, but I'm going to say maybe no.
I don't know.
It's a very I don't know. I feel like McCoy sounds like Irish.
No, sure, but you could be Jewish and still be Irish.
You could be. I don't know.
But to my knowledge, I would say no.
To my knowledge, he is not. He is not Jewish. Bobby Drake is Jewish, I believe.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah. So if we're talking Jewish X-Men, Bobby Drake, Iceman, is Jewish, and probably had to use an ice pick for a bris.
Well, when they're little, their powers don't kick in, so they're like normal.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think he. Unless if he was. Here's my theory though, is in the idea that in the only instance where I think that Hank McCoy, the Beast, would need a bris later in life.
Well, if there's a problem.
Well, because maybe. Well, if there's if there's a medical problem, I'm saying,
right.
But in my mind, he maybe was born in the No, actually, I don't know. I don't know because you can't.
Because I always thought mutants, at least the way that now I don't know how it works now, but I always thought it was your power doesn't kick in
Your power doesn't
basically
kick in.
until
No,
puberty.
Right? No, that's true. No, that's true. So I mean,
you go through your whole life, whatever. So when he was a baby, if he was circumcised, it would have just been normal.
right?
Like he wouldn't have been furry or anything. He would have just been a baby.
Yeah, unless if he was like one of those, like he was born like a monster mutant. You know.
Well, that's true. Some of them are.
Which some
but
of them
I don't
are.
think he was he. I don't know. I don't know enough about Beast to say.
No, he was born, regular, and then he, as normal. I'm pretty sure he was, and then he just became, beefy, with big arms, and big hands, and big feet, and
Yeah.
agile and
Furry.
all that stuff. Yeah, no, he didn't become furry until an accident.
Oh, that's right. Because he wasn't at the beginning.
So for pretty much like as up until through his even through his initial mutation, he was not, he was not furry until after striking out on his own and becoming furry.
Yeah.
However, I kind of thought about well, maybe he was leading like a European lifestyle because he is very refined and he wanted to be like more European. And
Well, that would have really been up to his parents. Though.
Right. But that's the thing. Like it wasn't. It's not like he had a choice. He's like, you know what? I want to keep it on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really smart later, and I'm gonna like be really into like all this culture, and I want to be like a European man.
Right. So I'm not going to be circumcised. But again,
then later in life,
if you had to go, typically an American man of that time would be.
Yeah, exactly. He's pretty. Yeah, I'm sure. That's my only theory. So
there you go. That's a great theory.
So thank you to at twist_rock, Mr. TJ Wistrick on Twitter. Let me say it again. At twist_rock. Thank you for bringing that up to us. Our other correspondence we received actually today,
yes,
was on an Instagram post that you posted on your account.
Yep.
Of a comic that you bought the other day.
Yes, I bought it yesterday, actually.
It was a girls' romance comic from 1971.
Yes, it was. And it was on sale, half price at the Bug. So I think I paid like
$2.
No, I don't even think it was that much. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was on sale.
It was on sale, regardless, but it was cheap. So, and I kind of have a weakness for these. I would actually like to get all of these one day. I don't know how many there are, but they're nonsense.
Oh yeah, no, you could. I mean,
and I would like to curate all of them.
Really?
Yes, that's my goal now.
Okay.
So I want to be like the main curator of girls' romance comics. They are insane, and I love them. For their insanity, not because they send like a good message. They're a terrible message.
Yeah, no,
but man, are they fun.
So, on your Instagram at Jen Stansfield on Twitter or on Instagram,
Yep.
You posted a picture of a guy smooching a lady.
Yeah, it's basically from the comic itself, and then we got a comment from.
Well, the idea, the premise behind it.
Well, we don't want it because we're going to talk about it.
Okay,
so I don't want to talk about it here.
Yeah. So we got a comment from at Prom Cakes, our buddy Nick Prom, I believe his name is, on Instagram. He's a big fan of our show, and he said, "I love romance comics." Smiley face. Will this be covered on War's Collection?
And my answer is most definitely. We are absolutely going to talk about this comic in the future.
Yeah, we don't really mess with these very much. So.
No, but they're great.
Yeah, so I guess
I think I have another one too.
We do. We have a few hanging around.
I think I only have 2. This one, maybe 3.
But we do. Here's the thing, though: is we do. We do need something for not Thanksgiving. For Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So we will.
Might be breaking this one out for Valentine's Day.
I'm pretty sure we will because what else is there?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but I mean, I think this one kind of speaks to our audience.
Oh, yes. Well, it spoke to me, and I was so happy to get it because we went to the Bug yesterday, and I found this, and I found a Lois Lane from, I think, 1972. Mm-hmm. I found a Superman from Is it 67?
No, it's a 71.
Is it 70?
Yeah.
Okay. So I found a Superman where a boy becomes a cat, so that was great. so yeah, yesterday was quite successful. They were all on sale. So Comic Bug in Manhattan Beach, great store. Please go there.
Yeah, I know they don't
support them.
They don't.
Local business.
They don't sponsor our show, but we will put them over. So
oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're a great store.
They're a great show. Okay, so let's get into our actual books this week.
Yeah.
First of which is Guy Gardner,
Oh,
number 7. from April 1993. Going to revisit Guy Gardner here this week. Guy Gardner, favorite of mine. Mm-hmm. And we've only actually really touched upon him in the series on like pre-incarnations, like when he was in Vuldarian phase.
Yeah.
And then also like it is in between Yellow Ring and Vuldarian phase. So we've had
his ring is yellow in this too, is right?
Right, but he didn't have his ring in the ones we've talked about.
Okay.
This is like because there's a bunch of different phases of Guy,
different iterations of Guy Gardner
throughout the series, and this is the one that basically he jumped right from Green Lantern, being Green Lantern of Earth to the series.
So this
it's
is
not even
pre-Warrior.
Yeah, it's pre-Warrior. It's not even. It's just called Guy Gardner. So,
I gotcha.
Even though the series is became Guy Gardner Warrior. So on the cover we have Guy Gardner being throttled by his own power ring, by fists coming out of his own hands, coming out of his own power ring, being wielded by none other than Goldface. Goldface, long-standing Green Lantern villain, Goldface.
I like that he has AU written on his belt buckle.
I don't think I've ever noticed that about him. Also, I've never
which is the periodic table for gold.
Right, and the funny thing is that I didn't realize he was that big.
Yeah, he's massive.
Like he's a pretty beefy guy, and I don't remember
he's
the
a
other
robot.
Like he's a giant man, and I didn't realize in other iterations of the character that, because I believe I feel like we've encountered him. Maybe we didn't talk about it in the particular issue, but I feel like there was a. Oh, you know why? Yeah, because it was in the Metamorpho book that we didn't read, but it's something I read. But I don't think we've ever had to talk about Mr. Mr. Face here. But yeah, he's throttling, and we've got some characters behind him cheering him on. Mm-hmm. Which we'll talk about these characters, but that's basically the conceit.
Yes.
Of this book. And I figured, I have no idea what's going on here, so let's give it a crack.
I like that he's on the first page. It's a splash page, and Guy is wearing probably the most ridiculous cowboy boots I've ever seen.
Well, those are just his boots.
Those are just his boots?
Yeah,
this isn't because they're like in some sort of like fucking Western showdown.
No, those
town?
are his Guy Gardner boots.
Wow.
Like that when he became Guy Gardner, just the solo guy, because you can see there's a G on them.
Is that a G?
That's a G.
Oh, I thought it was just a diamond.
No, that's a G. That's like a G, like that's on his jacket.
Oh, I see. See, that just looks like a diamond.
Yeah, no,
he's kind of a weird.
He's
coloring.
got the big, shoulder padded jacket, or at least
So he's a guy who wears cowboy boots and who just randomly all the time.
No, that's just how they look. I think that's just how
they're
look.
cowboy boots.
Well, whatever.
He is one of those guys who wears cowboy boots.
Hey, he's a cowboy.
Did I ever tell you about the time I took a bus from New York to Boston? And I took it at about 3:30 in the morning. So I was getting on a bus at the Port Authority bus station at 3:30 in the fucking morning, which that's a nightmare place to be.
Yeah.
And my driver looked like a short John C. Reilly. Oh. And he was wearing snakeskin cowboy boots.
I don't know what to say about that. I'm just imagining like a.
So he's that kind of guy.
I'm imagining a squat Steve Brule wearing.
That's exactly what he was.
A cowboy boot.
That's exactly what it was.
Italian.
He looked like a very short John C. Reilly, and he was wearing snakeskin cowboy boots just to drive the bus. So he's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy Guy Gardner is. He probably thinks he's real handsome.
Guy Gardner is a mess.
He is a mess.
He's a mess of a man.
Look at his hair.
Well, yeah, I mean that in itself, he's a mess.
Yeah.
And but I love him. I love Guy Gardner. I'm unabashedly I feel like I don't give him enough attention in my collecting other than just particular series, but I feel like I should be more vigilant in finding more of his appearances and the JLI stuff and the and the Red Lanterns. But I have a soft spot for this Warrior book. Mm-hmm. This awful Warrior book, which we mean we read this with Jensen Karp.
Well, we read some Guy Gardner with Jensen Karp.
We read not this book, but we read Guy Gardner with Jensen Karp, and I feel like
in fairness, that one had a Nazi dinosaur.
Okay, but so sometimes they have Nazi dinosaurs. I just felt bad because I'm like, this is just a bad, it's just.
It was a hard book to jump into if you don't know anything about Guy Gardner.
It was also a hard book to jump into if you're doing a show like this. Like I kind of.
I mean,
felt,
I think we do. I think if you're not familiar with,
here's the thing. Normally, when we do guests, if we have guests on, we kind of try to convince them to maybe pick something that they're familiar with.
Well, we did, and he did the second one.
And he picked on He picked Ecstatics.
Yeah, which was great.
But even he was like, "Look, I'm not really that familiar with DC books. Why don't you pick something?" And I was like, yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the best choice.
And that's why I was just like, well, this Guy Gardner is batshit, so let's just swing for the fences here. And
maybe we should have just gone with like a more accessible batshit.
But I think
a Jimmy Olsen.
I don't think he was very impressed with our choice. I just felt that
that was one of the most batshit books we've ever read.
It was very batshit.
I mean, in fairness,
it's something.
Nazi dinosaurs.
I mean, I was glad to do it, but at the same time, I don't think it was the right one to do with somebody else.
Yeah,
that isn't
I agree.
Familiar with DC.
I agree.
And you're just like, hey, read this Nazi dinosaur book, and he's like, whoa, brother, hey, let's,
it was a bit much. Maybe it was the wrong choice.
But if I'm gonna do Guy Gardner though with somebody, you kind of have to go with this kind of era.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more accessible.
Yeah. So anyway, this one's called Mexicali Gold. So we start off with Guy Gardner in his cowboy boots. And he
skin
is
tight jeans.
Skin tight, yeah. He's got the outfit. I'm gonna make this in my wrestling game, by the way. I think.
Why don't you cosplay as that?
Because there's already a guy that cosplays as Guy Gardner. I don't want to.
So what?
Well, how am I gonna do the hair?
Wigs.
How am I gonna do the boots? How am I gonna do the jeans?
We can get you tight jeans.
I don't want to wear tight jeans.
Just buy skinny jeans like every other hipster.
Where are we gonna do all this?
What's the wrestler who wears the jeans? What's his name?
I don't know all of them.
No, Dean Ambrose.
Oh, Dean Ambrose.
Buy Dean Ambrose jeans.
Guy Gardner is Dean Ambrose, pretty much. I will say that.
He's got better hair than Dean Ambrose.
He does.
Sorry, Dean Ambrose.
which is not saying much, considering that Guy Gardner looks like like it's literally a bowl cut, and that's what he rocked for years. And was able to score ice, not the drug, but the woman.
I kind of wish you were just talking about the drug. He was able to get. I was going to say, if you have a bowl cut like that, you should be able to score something.
That's how you look at it when you see somebody with that kind of haircut. You're like, that guy's probably on crystal meth or whatever.
Well, I mean, it was a very popular haircut back in the day. Back
in the 90s.
Yeah, because you do the shave underneath.
Yeah, no, that's what he's doing.
That was a thing.
Anyway, so he's watching as he's got this lady friend who I don't know who this lady is.
I don't know if they ever say her name.
Or does she have his ring?
No, what that guy has his ring because you can see it.
But he's not talking to him.
No, it doesn't matter. See, it's on his finger. So whatever happened last issue, there's a guy with a blue mask who I can't remember his name at the moment. We got to look at.
I'm going to find their names real quick because I want to be able to refer to them when I talked about them.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
We get a little intro about them.
Yeah, we just have to find it.
Oh, okay. Okay. We've got Repo, Jocasta, and Piston. Okay.
Okay, so Repo has the ring.
Repo has the ring. Repo Man, the wrestler.
The wrestler has the ring. So Repo
looks like the Golden Age Adam.
Yes, he does.
But like with a Gumby head. He has like a weird head.
Yeah. So he's got the ring. But what's her name? Jocasta?
Jocasta, which also, by the way, is the name of a robot in the Marvel universe which I think we might have. No, we didn't touch upon her.
Yeah.
But here she is as a she's just
metal Viking.
She's an albino Viking.
She's supposed to be albino.
She's albino. Oh. And she's also she's like Maxima.
Okay.
Meets
a Viking.
Meets one of the female monster from the Bloodlines thing. I'm going deep in my
you really, really are.
And then there's also Piston, who's face front on the ground. Piston basically looks like lead from the Metal Men.
Yeah.
So Jocasta's wrestling this woman.
This woman who we don't know.
She's fighting and
what is her name?
Oh, we'll find it.
Okay. So anyway, they're wrestling. She's trying to stab her. Whatever. And
so they're fighting because basically they have to. These are
they work for gold.
They work for Goldface, and he's trying to. Guy's trying to get the Goldface, and him and this woman are going at it.
Yeah, and they really do look like they're having a showdown at the OK Corral because it's in the middle of this like western town.
Well, it's in Mexico. It's like probably like New Mexico.
Sure, and it's like one of those like we're having a showdown at high noon type of things in the middle of the town.
We're having for Buffalo listeners. This is happening at Fantasy Island, where they would have a.
Is that still a place?
I don't know. It's a good question. People died there. They did. No, they did. They did.
Any amusement park, you could say people died there.
Yeah, but
I want a list. I'm sure there's a list on Wikipedia that's like all people have died at amusement parks.
That was a famous one. And then but one of their things is they used to have like an old timey like saloon. Mm-hmm. Kind of like this.
Yeah.
This Western front, and they would have like a stunt show.
Yeah.
So I basically it's if you're imagine this, but with Guy Gardner fighting an albino.
Yeah.
So he's taking us out, but the Repo has the ring, and he manages to get it to work because he's like, how do you get this to work?
Yeah, and it's got yellow energy.
Well, it's yellow energy because basically, so what happened was, just prior to this series, and in between Guy Gardner in the issue that we read, where Guy Gardner got kicked out of the Green Lantern Corps, remember?
Okay, yeah.
He decided that he wanted to go and he wanted to have another weapon. So what he did was he went to Quard, and at the time, what's his face? Sinestro was dead.
Okay.
Or so, I'm trying to think I just read it too, and I'm trying to remember exactly how it went, but it's something we're to do where he convinced Lobo to help him beat up people in Quard, and to get to where Sinestro's body is so he can get his yellow power ring, and that's basically what happened.
Okay,
so now he has the yellow power ring.
Okay.
Which it's based on fear.
Right.
Which I don't know how.
I don't quite get how that works.
I don't know how it really works so much with.
See how Guy Gardner has a lot of fear?
Well, or is able to
induce fear in other people? Is that how that works?
Or deduce fear in people and use that against them?
I don't know.
Like he's not. I don't know. I just don't think he's that smart. To do that. I'm just being honest.
Sorry, Guy Gardner,
for him to have a Green Lantern ring, which is based on will and courage,
well, that makes
stuff
sense.
like that. Like, yeah, I can see how that makes sense. But anyway, so this guy, this Repo guy is trying to use it, and he just makes a big fist.
He does get it to work a little bit. He gets a fist, which looks like it sends Guy flying.
No, it doesn't. It punches this girl.
Oh, punches the girl.
It punches this girl whose name I don't know, which I probably should look up, but it doesn't matter. She let's put it this way. She looks like Grace Jones.
Yeah, she does.
So he punches Grace Jones, and he's like, "Oh, her name is Sally." Okay, so Sally Jones.
Oh yeah.
So she's down. She's down for the count, and Guy's like,
now he's got to fight Jocasta,
and then he kind of uses his, does some fancy.
Yeah, he just
he
kicks her in the head.
Cowboy boot kicking.
Yeah, kicks her in the head. She's down, and then there's like a tumbleweed rolling around.
Yeah, that's right.
There is. It's right there.
Stupid tumbleweed.
And so then he's gonna fight.
Guys, we're in the desert. Just let you know.
That guy.
So him and Repo are gonna square off, and
Repo's wearing a bandana.
Repo looks stupid.
He's really invested in this high noon fight.
Repo's really going. Repo looks like fucking. He's dressed like a Disney, like one of like those dog villains in Disney cartoons.
Yes.
But he's got the head of the Golden Age Atom.
Yes.
So just imagine that.
Weird.
And so he goes and he's
trying to use the ring again, but it just fizzles out before it hits a guy in the face, and it kind of just falls off.
Yeah, so Guy's doing that, and then the other people, as he's trying to go get the ring, the other guys recover.
They rally,
and then they start.
And then they capture Guy, and they're going to stab him in the face. And just before that happens,
they're about to stab his eyes out.
They are. She's going to cut his eyes out. She's like, "Oh, I'm going to cut your eyes out. This is going to be fun." And before that happens, Repo's like, "No, wait. I think we need him to figure this ring out."
Conveniently, yes.
Conveniently. So he's not going to get stabbed in the face yet. And so he's like, oh, man, lucky me.
But that means he gets to meet Goldface first, because I think Hal is trying to get in there too. But, Guy,
it's competition.
Of much bravado, doesn't want Hal to do anything. So basically, now we got like Hal.
Now we cut to Hal.
We got Hal, and
this is back when Hal had the white in his hair.
Yeah,
which I actually prefer.
No, I think Hal's always had that.
No, he hasn't, and he doesn't have it now.
He doesn't?
No.
Oh,
I like it when he has that. I like the idea that he's a little older. But so he is hanging out with a guy named Pie.
Yeah, that's his
like a sidekick.
No, it's the Eskimo guy. I forget his name.
Pie.
Okay, he calls him Pie, but it's short for Pie Face.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm forgetting the guy's name, but I just know it was like the thing where back in the '60s it was his, his shitty
racist
racist buddy.
Yeah.
Not his buddy wasn't racist, but it was it's like his diverse Eskimo buddy that he would call Pie Face, and I was like, well,
oh yeah, okay.
Whatever. So
so they are.
Fuck,
where are they?
Here, you go ahead, because I got to find out what this guy's name is, because I don't want to refer to him as Pie.
Okay, yeah, but that's what they refer to him as. So they're at like a jewelry store, and they're trying to find where Goldface is. So they figured out, and they're like, "Oh, he's at an experimental desalination plant on the Mexican coast." So it's time for us to go, because apparently, how Goldface becomes gold, he gets the gold molecules. Oh wait, what does it say? He gets his gold aura from the highly ionized gold molecules found in seawater. Which, is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing.
That's a crock of shit.
Let's pretend that's not, like, that's science. So they like fly over the ocean, and
I'm just like, what? Whatever.
Right, that doesn't make sense. So they fly over the ocean. They're going to this desalination plant, but first Hal calls the Guardians. And he's like, hey, these three people who we just saw fighting Guy are actually escaped criminals from OA. So could you give me info on them? So that's when we find out who these people are. We find out who Repo is. We find out who...
So Repo's like,
Jocasta
what? He's like,
is.
he's got like speed, and he's a thief.
Yeah.
And then, what is this?
Agility.
Jocasta.
Jocasta, she's a sadistic assassin and a spy.
Yeah.
She's just, a killer. And then Piston, he's powerful. But
he's dumb.
But he's dumb, and you can pretty much overcome him if you have any sort of intelligence whatsoever. So Guy Gardner's kind of fucked.
Yeah, these are some random thugs that are just here in this book for some reason. Yeah. But whatever.
So then they land on the Mexican...
Okay, Tom Kalmaku, but they call him Pie.
They call him Pie this entire book.
Pie, so Tom.
So then they land on the Mexican coast, which apparently is completely desolate with like one skeletal tree for some reason. And
yeah, why? Well, the tree's here because what happens is they land and they get ambushed by some thugs of Goldface.
Yeah,
not of the powered thugs, but some random thugs with guns.
Just some like random guys.
And so
that's Green Lantern like
uses his ring to make a bat, which is also a very fun shot of like, it just looks silly.
Where Tom like pushes him to the ground, but then he's like laying on top of him, and it looks like it looks like they're more than friends. So then we cut to Goldface, and he's like, haha, Guy Gardner, let me see. You're gonna let me, like, you're gonna train us how to use this ring if we let you go. And he's like, yep, that's it.
Yeah,
that sounds fun. But this other guy's like, no, I think I can get it.
They really should have needed him.
And Repo's like, I can do it. And so he hits him in the face with some gold brass knuckles.
And they're like, well, apparently you're worthless, guy, so we'll...
He's like, no, try it again. And so then he tries to, like, mentally stop the energy.
Yeah, apparently that's the thing where what he can do is that he can control the ring kind of like the Force in Star Wars, where he can use it, even if it's not on him, he can still mentally control it.
No.
Well, apparently here
I don't like that.
But apparently he's doing that here, and because every time they try to use it, he I
mean, maybe because it's a different ring. I always just thought it was like...
No, I think he's just trying... I think he said he was able to do that with the Green Lantern ring. Oh. So he's saying, well, I could probably do it with this ring too. Because they're basically...
You had to have the ring on you, but then if the ring hadn't chosen you, then you can't use it.
Well, this ring definitely didn't choose him. He just took it.
Well, the yellow ring's a little different, but I mean, like a Green Lantern ring.
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole deal? Like it chooses you, and then no
Right.
one else can use it.
Right. So
that's the basic idea. But I'm
and that would make more
not
sense that you can actually attempt this kind of gimmick here with that.
Yeah.
But he's with this one. No, I don't quite understand where he thinks he's getting off here. But
So he like mentally stops it, and he's like, "See, you do need my help." So he can. This goes on for a while.
This goes on for a while, and then Jocasta gets a hand. What?
Oh, nothing.
Are you going to say something here?
No, I was just like, it just goes on forever with this. No, I can use it. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, I can't. It goes on for many pages.
Yeah.
Till Jocasta gets it, and then she throws a power sword.
Why is Piston picking up this ionizer?
I don't know.
Because he's dumb, but he's just like, is he going to like throw? I think he wants
to throw it at Guy, and then
he's like, don't throw that. Don't throw
the equipment, the seriously fragile equipment.
So what happens is Guy figures. Okay, so Jocasta, who's much smarter and much more adept and stuff like that, she figures out how to use this, and then she goes and tries to lance him with a yellow sword, and he manages to deflect that.
Yeah, he mentally deflects it, and then Goldface steals the ring from her.
Goldface is like, look,
this is fucking nonsense. We've been doing this for a while. Give me that ring.
You just give it to Goldface and just figure this out.
Yeah. So
he kind of explains his plan,
which is a dumb plan.
So it sounds like a plan that you would like see in a Superman movie. Like when
is it about land?
It's about land and economy, which is how all Superman movies
Lex
end up.
Luthor walks in. He's like, "Tell me more."
He's like, "Hey, I'm in. Let's go. Ponzi scheme. Let's do this."
He's like, "I would like to subscribe to your newsletter, sir."
Because he's basically like, "Well, I invented the devices that will extract nearly limitless amounts of gold from the sea, throwing the world's economy in such a state that turmoil of hundreds of lives will be shattered, broken. Some may even kill themselves." So he's counting on people that are investing on gold
in the sea. Gold in the sea. So
don't tell Rush Limbaugh about this guy, or any of his fan base.
No,
this guy should go. And actually, you know what? I would like to see a special one shot Goldface v Rush Limbaugh.
Oh well, wouldn't it be Glenn Beck who's like obsessed?
Or is it
with
Glenn Beck?
gold?
What was the one that you're
I think it was Glenn Beck. It's been a very long time. I'm sure all of them are obsessed with gold because, like, that's the thing. Like, buy gold or whatever.
Yeah, Glenn Beck. Actually, Goldface versus Glenn Beck actually would be a good.
Well, he would really enjoy. He'd be like, well, "No, but everybody has to buy that gold." And Goldface is like, "I get it out of the sea.
I get it under the sea."
And everybody'd be like, "That's not a thing." But okay.
So basically, Goldface is like, "Look, I'm gonna use this ring on you, and I'm gonna fuck you up." And then Guy uses his last bit of mental bandwidth to stop this from happening.
Yeah.
And so he passes out, and they're like, "Well, look, we'll keep you alive. We'll give you back your ring, but we have to.
You have to kill your friend.
You have to kill your friend.
You have to kill Grace Jones.
You have to kill Sally Jones,
which nobody wants."
Which Grace Jones, if this was really Grace Jones...
Oh, no, Grace Jones would have killed all these people already.
All these people would be dead.
She's a goddamn badass.
Grace Jones would have murdered Guy, Hal...
And she would just be like...
Tom...
Yeah, and she'd just be waiting...
Superman show would be like, "Hey, Grace Jones, I love night clubbing." Dead.
No. She would have killed, like, all these guys, and she would just been, like, waiting for Hal to come, like, give her a ride home looking fabulous. Just, like, standing there looking amazing.
Grace Jones v DC Universe, actually.
I'd watch that.
I would buy that, and Goldface v Rush Limbaugh v Glenn Beck.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
These are these are some comics that if I was in charge of DC, I'd be making.
This is why we don't work at DC again. Why we will never work at DC. No one will ever hire us because we have terrible yet amazing ideas.
These are great ideas.
Yeah.
So if we
don't take ourselves seriously, that's why we'll never be hired by DC. They're like, "No, you have to understand that everybody is grimdark and sad now."
Yeah.
There's no space for happiness.
Nobody's getting married.
Nope.
That's how it's going.
Nope.
So anyway, they're
Guy would really actually kill Sally Jones.
Well, they're like, "Guy, you got to try to kill this woman." And
he's like, "All right."
He's like,
"But you have to do it with your bare hands." So they do. They tell him that he has to do it with his bare hands.
Which is pretty creepy.
So he
grabs her, but he's kind of looks like he's grabbing her. He's singing to her. He's like,
it also it also kind of looks like he's like trying to play her like she's a game controller.
Yeah. So
he's like, if I put the Konami code in here, I bet she'll die.
Can I do the Konami code on her esophagus?
Yes. So I think he does, and then Hal is just like, we're back with Hal and Tom.
Hal and Tom, and they're like, well, look, we're Goldface's base, and we need to. And a bunch of his soldiers are all dressed in yellow.
Yeah, which of course
is the Green Arrow's Green Lantern's weakness.
Yes. So he's like, well, there's
this
not
Green Lantern at least.
Yes, they're like, well, I can't use any of my constructs because they're those guys are dressed in yellow. But
you can just focus on like their flesh.
Can't you hit in front of them and like give like a shockwave enough that knocks them backward, like an explosion?
That would also be a good idea, but in this case,
God forbid we do it.
No, but in this, here's the thing. Okay, here's my thing that I don't quite know about the yellow. Maybe I don't quite understand about Green Lantern, because what he does is he takes a big,
the one skeletal tree.
He finds one skeletal tree, makes big pliers, grabs it out of the ground, and uses that to beat these yellow suited men with the tree.
Uh-huh.
However, isn't the idea that if his construct gets anywhere near yellow, I
thought it had to hit them. I thought it had to hit yellow.
Well, then that's the case. Why not just focus some sort of projectile that's going to hit them in the face?
Well, yeah, because that is true. They're not completely
because they're not covered completely. Yeah, it's like Goldface. It's different because he's completely covered in yellow.
Yes,
or gold. I don't know if
you can see these dudes' faces, and like they also have wearing
just like
hats.
the man in the yellow hat. And they got little AUs on their shirt.
They
you see that?
do. They work for Goldface.
Which I feel like what was the other episode one where there was we were talking about henchman outfits, and there was somebody that had some really good henchman outfits that we were.
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm blanking on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean these are actually not bad.
They're not bad. Yeah, they kind of look like they actually look like plumbers.
They look like plumbers that were also hanging out with the guy that
the man in the yellow hat.
The man in the yellow hat in the Curious George movies.
Yeah. So he knocks them all over with the tree, and they're like, "Yay!" And so then they break in.
Well, he breaks in, and he's trying to like find out where they are.
Oh yeah, so he's using a big stethoscope, like a construct, so he can like hear what's going on. And he's like, "Well, I can't hear what they're saying, but I know I hear Goldface's voice. I can't make out the words, but I can tell it's his voice. So I got to go over there."
And he's like, "Well, look, don't you want to like?"
Yeah, this part doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, because now I was like, and Tom's like, "Hey, this is getting kind of personal, isn't it?" Because Guy's in there. And
he's like, "Oh, I can't let Guy get to Goldface first."
Because he's in here. He's like, "Now we got to beat Gardner to the punch," and he's like, and Tom's like, "What? Why are you? What does this have to do with it?" And he's like, he's like, why? This shouldn't interfere with the core,
Yeah.
Because Hal's like, well, leave it alone, But he's like, yeah, it is personal.
Yes.
And, I'm going to show him that I can use my brains.
Well, no, because this is what he says.
Oh.
He says, yeah, it's personal. Guy Gardner symbolizes everything I hate about today's, quote, new heroes. He's arrogant, egotistical, using his fists first and his brains later. In short, he's everything I was at different times of my life, and I triumphed. I can't let him win. So wait a second. Because you were successful being an arrogant dick, now you can't let Guy Gardner win, or you're the bigger dick? Like, what exactly are you trying to say there?
I don't know. He's just trying to justify wanting to one-up somebody and not look like a dick.
Because you're also an arrogant douchebag.
Yeah.
Is that basically the thing? Like, nothing has changed, Hal. You're also a dick.
Yeah.
But he wants to be the bigger dick. I think that's the whole idea.
Yeah. No, that's all it's about.
Yeah.
So Guy apparently does the deed on Grace Jones here.
Yep, she dies.
And they're like, and they're all like, yep, she's dead. And then they're like, and then that's when Hal breaks in.
And he's like, I am here. Look,
he breaks in with his
construct guy.
Construct or whatever. And
Guy Gardner's like, meh.
And then so what's something here? Like he kicks Goldface in the ribs or something. It's just
he's
some awkward action looking here.
Yeah, there's just some weird stuff. There's like
because he gets all pumped up because Hal's here to fuck up fuck up his
so that
spot.
makes Guy be all pissy. So everybody's fighting basically.
But he apparently he used.
Well, they're still fighting.
Well,
Fight.
here's what he says. He says what he did was, and I don't know how this fucking works either. He says, so what he did was he would normally have the ring's power, because he doesn't have it. Mm-hmm. But he's like, I normally would have the ring's power, but he used whatever the power was that was surrounding him, to put this girl in suspended animation.
Okay. Let's believe that that's a thing.
Which, whatever.
Hey, if you can get gold out of seawater, I mean,
I guess,
not?
Yeah. So then he starts fighting Jocasta and all these people, and the dumb guy starts throwing stuff at him, and
and Hal's just like, ugh.
Well, Hal's not in there yet.
No, but look, there's a little inset of him with like,
he's like, oh, Hal.
He's basically doing a face palm.
He's doing a face palm, and it's like, he's like, well, geez, how come you gotta throw fists? It's like, he's throwing fists. Let him throw fists, okay?
Well, at this juncture, fists are required. So shut up, Hal.
Just let him do it. And so what happens is, Guy gets in front of the machine, the ionizer, and I think what he does. Okay, so apparently what he does is he uses. He gets in front of the machine, and and Goldface has the ring on his hand, and he uses that to somehow make Goldface shoot the machine, which explodes, and it covers everybody in the ionized gold.
Sure.
Or it just incapacitates them.
And then so Goldface is kind of stuck. So Guy just takes his ring off his hand, and he like revives his friend, and that's when Hal comes in to be like, "Man, no, stop it."
Hal's like, just stop doing. You did it.
He's like, we got to take Goldface and all of his buddies back to Oa, and Guy Gardner's like, "No, they committed enough crimes here that they can stand trial on Earth."
Yeah, I know.
And Hal gets pissy about that.
Because for some reason, why does Hal want to take him to space jail? Just let him.
Whatever. So
like, Hal, I could do
he's like, Hal, they're going to stand trial for their crimes here on Earth. I got to take my friend back because I kind of almost killed her. Uh-huh. So he like puts everybody in a bubble, and he like floats away. And he's just like, don't. And then he says to Tom, he's like, don't put that in your stupid case book. He's like, oh, okay, I won't. And then the woman is better as they fly away because she's like on a chair. Yeah, she's like on a big, like, easy chair. Kind of like one of those, like, inflatable chairs.
He made her a beanbag chair.
Yeah, but like one of those ones that you blow up, not full of beanbags. Oh. Like super dorm room chairs.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
but
like,
basically, like,
this is going to be awesome.
Because Tom's like, yeah, Guy actually used his brains. Like, he actually used some cunning to find his way out of the situation. And
Hal's like, shut up.
And Hal's like, ah.
Like, you dick. Yeah, and so then he's like, all right, well, that's the end of this story. And then it just says, next, Lobo.
Right.
Lobo.
And that's it. That's it for the book. And then Lobo shows up, and Lobo's like, frag you. And, Lobo. Actually, Lobo, it's just his head. It's just like, next, Lobo. Bah.
Yeah, Lobo.
And so that's it. And then we get his letter page, Guy Talk, which...
it's a good name for a letter page.
It's a good name for a page, although Guy should be wearing shoes.
Yeah, he's hanging out at home. And all of his letters say Guy, and he's not wearing any shoes.
And he's drinking beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, he's wearing white gloves, but he's got no shoes on.
He's fancy.
Is he, Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, he's like half fancy.
He's half fancy.
He's like...
Well, Guy Gardner, I think we've talked before, Guy Gardner lives like Charlie and Frank and Always Sunny.
Yes, it does. It's a disgusting hovel. And you're right, he should be wearing shoes just so he doesn't get whatever the fuck is in his carpet.
Yeah. No.
And, or he could clean and then not worry about wearing shoes. But that's not going to happen.
And so that's it for Guy Gardner's... Guy Gardner... number 7 from April 1993. And would you read the next issue of this?
No.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to turn you on to Guy Gardner at some point.
It's not working. I don't
like anything I like.
That's not true. I like some things that you like, but I don't like Guy Gardner. He annoys me. He's too cocky.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, he's kind of a sausage.
Yeah, I don't like it. Nope.
Yeah, I'm going to read it because obviously I'm trying to collect all these. So.
Yes.
But that's it for Guy Gardner. Triumphing in the end. I am actually very proud of Guy.
Oh, I'm so
I actually feel good about reading this. I feel like it makes me feel good.
I'm glad because he overcame.
He overcame dickery.
By using dickery.
No, he used brains over Hal's.
But he still used dickery. That's what he uses.
I don't know. I thought it was just being cunning.
Well, he was, but he's also a dick.
He's a dick. Yes, he is. He's a jerk. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it for that book for the guy Gardner, and we'll be back with our next one. All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our second book of the show. Also, actually, I want to just do a quick bit of housekeeping. For folks that may have noticed a bunch of new downloads in your subscriptions on iTunes from our show.
Oh, yeah, what
this
the hell's
week.
going on with that?
Well, that's because... Well, let me explain. I'll have to explain, because it's a thing where we switch servers. So we moved our servers to SoundCloud. And SoundCloud, unfortunately, the way that it's set up is that it kind of, when you move stuff over and make it a new feed or whatever, it just downloads everything into the RSS. So it just kind of pumps that up like that. So I apologize for that happening. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it.
But it should be good now.
Well, yeah, if it happened once and you're subscribed, just delete all the episodes if you don't need them, or if you haven't listened to them yet, or if you want to listen to them again, or whatever you want to do, and just carry on with the rest of the thing. The feed and the episodes that are in the feed should all be correct. So, but that's what happened. So I apologize to all my all of our podcast listeners out there. Are you having fun?
No, she's just being weird.
Okay. So, yeah, just wanted to make sure people knew that. So, okay. So let's get into our second book. The Savage She-Hulk, number 17 from June 1981. Mm-hmm. It is, features She-Hulk being strangled by the man elephant.
Uh-huh.
His trunk is wrapped around her neck. And the man elephant is behind her, and there's a bunch of dudes running at her, and there's carnage and cars smashed and street lamps, and it says, "Make way for ... the man elephant." He's a man. He's also an elephant. Malephant.
Yes.
So you open up on the front page, big splash page of Wanted. And apparently they're at the... it's a big... Okay, so the title of the show, the title of the episode or the book is Make Way for the Man Elephant. Mm-hmm. And opens up into the splash page, says, it's a big Wanted poster of She-Hulk's angry face.
Yeah, she's grimacing. She's very angry.
But here's the thing. This poster is... Okay, so this is actual poster at the L.A. County Courthouse.
Yeah, this thing is like 3 stories tall.
It's a gigantic poster, which it's terrifying. Yeah. Because, I mean, look... First of all, I'll say this. If you're trying to find She-Hulk and she's out there, you're going to know that it's She-Hulk. You don't need this giant poster.
I just need to find the green woman. That's it.
I need to find
a tall, buff, green woman.
The gigantic green woman.
And even in L.A., there's not that many.
No. Pretty sure you have a very limited...
Yes.
Scope of green women in out here in Los Angeles.
I also like that they're like, this is it. Who is this? This is the assistant DA. What's that guy's name?
Oh, I don't
know. I don't remember this guy's name. This guy will figure out Mr. Bukowski. And then
Charles Bukowski.
Yes, Charles Bukowski, who is now an attorney apparently. And then Sheriff William Morris Walters, who is She-Hulk's dad.
Yes.
So they're like talking about this, and they're like, "This is ridiculous. Why are we putting this up here? We need to." Or no, the sheriff is like, we need people to see her. I want this on every billboard in L.A.
Well, they can just come see this.
Yes, but he wants it on every billboard in L.A. And I'm like, I don't know if that's really going to have the impact that you want, because
that's a lot of capital.
It's a lot of billboards. Number one,
it's a lot of city funds being wasted to put gigantic billboards of She-Hulk's face everywhere, and people not think it's a movie.
No, that's the thing. No, that's why it's a waste, because people are going to think it's a fucking movie because this is L.A. and the more posters you see.
It's like, is this
a tent pole?
Is Barbara Streisand in this one?
Yes.
You know, is this
You're
the
just
new,
like, oh, it's a tent pole. And people probably aren't going to like pay any attention to it after they see it once, because God knows that billboard of Tommy Wiseau with the room was up there for years, and everybody was just like, I don't know.
Well, until people decided it was a cult movie.
Yeah, but it took a very long time. And Angelique had a billboard for God only knows how long.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I kind of wish they put this up on the where the room billboard was on Highland.
Yeah.
Just stuck that there. But yeah, they're like, well, we gotta do this. And
now they're going to fucking wrap buildings with it, because it's no longer just billboards. There's like a bunch of buildings on the 405 that they just wrap.
They need...
They do, because there's a huge Logan one
that's
right now.
Yeah,
and that's going to be up until March.
That should be...
That's like a 10-story building. That thing is literally... It's
that poor
10
building.
It changes out all the time. It's nothing. It's
always like Sony movies.
Yeah, and it gets wrapped every single time.
My favorite is when they put it up and they don't quite finish it.
Yeah.
So sometimes like the text will say things, or it just looks weird. So like when they did X-Men Apocalypse, you just had like, you know, Apocalypse is like he was, you know, it was the one where it was the gigantic thing where he's throttling. I think it's like
Mystique
or Mystique, you know, and it's like, but they didn't have Mystique up yet, so it was just him like throttling whatever was left over.
Yeah, whatever was behind that.
Whatever was behind it. That was I think it was Independence Day.
Yeah.
So he's just like, "Arr," you know, it's like, okay. One of my favorites was when they just put Deadpool, but they just put Deadpo.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed that
they didn't finish it.
I just wish they did it. I wish they had Dead Poo.
Yeah.
Because that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Or just Poo or Pool.
Yeah.
Just put Pool.
Yeah. No, it was just Deadpo.
Deadpo
for a while, but anyway.
Anyway, so She-Hulk, who's a lawyer.
Yeah, who, by the way, can we just...
Oh, okay.
There's an elephant in the room, if you will.
Two? What, not the one on the cover?
Yeah, exactly. Oh. She-Hulk's boobs.
Well,
Good Lord.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say, though. That, okay, She-Hulk is a buxom woman. But here she is as Jen Walters.
Well, she's just a busty gal.
But the thing is that the She-Hulk, that when she becomes She-Hulk, she doesn't look near in this iteration.
Maybe because her boobs stayed the same size, and then they look like regular, normal-sized boobs. They look huge here.
Yeah, but Jen Walters,
she's got some cans.
Yeah, she's packing.
She heavy boobs from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Her theme song.
Yeah, there's got some guy with what the fuck? Who's this guy again?
It's the district attorney.
The DA,
his glasses.
who's wearing a banana-colored suit, and he's got these giant glasses that look like
they're like ski goggles with just like instead of like the part that puts them around the eye, they're just like regular glasses.
They're regular glasses, but they're ski goggles
because they like connect in the fucking middle.
Well, he's got to have big glasses to see all those cans.
Oh, I guess she's got some tits, man. And I say this as a woman who also has a lot of tits. That's a lot of tit.
Yeah, it's a lot of comic tit.
Yeah, they're very lovingly drawn in like every panel. Just
yeah, she looks rad.
Very big busted lady.
Yeah. But anyway, so she's like, man, basically it's like I can't. Oh man, nobody will listen to me because my father wants me dead, but I'm She-Hulk and he doesn't know.
Yeah. It's that whole thing. So she's like, oh man, my dad and I still hate each other. So she's walking by, and that's when
basically she's trying to find a way to like clear.
Yeah, because She-Hulk's been charged with murder or something.
Because she murdered some. Yeah,
they say that she murdered a woman in a car. We find out later, but basically, people think She-Hulk's a criminal. So she's trying to figure out a way that she can clear her name because she is not a criminal. And so she's walking by the office, and District Attorney BananaMan comes out with his terrible fucking glasses, and he's like, "Hey there, busty lady," and she's like, "Shut up, dick!" Like she just can't stand him.
Fuck off, BananaMan.
Fuck off, BananaMan. And so she just like basically just tells him to shut up and leave her alone. And then she stalks off.
Go ski down a hill, banana boy.
Yeah, pretty much. And so then we cut to the neighborhood where she lives and her weird boyfriend.
Yeah, she has this weird... So it's Richard Rory, who... Richard Rory is he started as a friend in the Swamp Thing, Man Thing universe. Like he was a guy who he basically, I can't remember. I want to say he won the lotto, but he just came into like a lot of money, and he bought a radio station in Florida in the Everglades, and then got mixed up with like Swamp Thing or Man Thing, and then there's an issue of She-Hulk that I have where she fights Man Thing because she goes down with this idiot to I think it's actually it's number 8, so this is after that. So it's like she goes down with this idiot to check out his Florida station and gets mixed up with Man Thing, and now he's back here in LA and this guy's trying to find a job, and he looks like he
just looks like a dork.
Looks like a dork, and
he's just a dork. So he's like, man, I don't have a job.
He's clearly punching above his weight.
Yeah,
because she's an accomplished lawyer with a giant rack, and he's like, hey, I'm like a fucking extra from one of those Brady movies where they grown up.
Pretty much. So he's like walking down the street, and then he's like, "Oh no, someone's in Jen's house. What's going on? I'll hide behind this car and figure it out." So he hides, and apparently there's like a real estate agent there.
Yeah.
Trying to it doesn't make a lot of sense because there's a real estate agent here who wants to convince Jen's dad to sell the house, but put it at such a high price that Jen can't afford it. So then she has this real estate woman has leverage of some sort. Whatever. Basically, all you need to know is that LA real estate has always been a goddamn nightmare. And it was back then, and it is now. If you want to spend $850,000 to buy a 2-bedroom shack, you are more than welcome to do so here in Los Angeles.
And so this guy conveniently writes it down on the pad and paper.
Yeah, he gets the license plate, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he just goes in the house. He's like, "That was weird. I'll go inside."
Well, because he lives there.
I know, but if you saw somebody, here, coming out of our apartment, and you were just like, "Oh, I should stand there and watch them," or would you come up and be like, "What are you doing?"
I probably would do the latter, but if you look like an extra from Brady's getting married, you might want to. You might not know if you're cut out for that sort of confrontation. And
apparently, so then Jen comes home, and apparently in Los Angeles, she takes cabs. But this might be, maybe she doesn't have a car. Maybe or her car's in the shop.
Well, she could have been his shield.
Oh, no, I think we find that out later. Her car's in the shop.
Oh, that's right.
So
that's right, because of the
That's right. Yes. So she takes a cab home, and she comes in, and she's like, "Hey, boyfriend, what'd you do all day?" And he's like,
"Hey, loser.
I saw random people coming in the house, but I didn't do anything about it. But here's the note I wrote about it. I wrote poetry about it, I guess." And
I wrote a haiku, and I'm going to go try this at an open mic later. She's like, "Whatever, I'm a busty lawyer. Fuck off."
And so he's like, like kissing on her or whatever. And she's like, "That's weird. I'll call. Oh, it's for a real estate lady. That's weird. But who cares? I won't worry about it." So then we cut to back in her dad's office with BananaMan, a district attorney or assistant district attorney, and then this dude.
So this dude, his name is Manfred Ellsworth Haller.
And he has an elephant on his tie. I don't know if you noticed that.
I just noticed that now. He loves elephants.
And he's like an old, gross man.
And basically he's, a hydraulics dynamo.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Look,
he builds machines.
I build a machine. I built this suit.
I've got hair on my ears," because they give a real close up.
Oh yeah. That is. Well, you see the hair on the ears from back here.
Yeah, and but then they really zoom in on it to be like, "Look at this guy's ear hair." I'm like, why did you draw that?
This guy has only hair on the top of his head and his top of his ears.
No, does he have?
He has more. Yeah, he has a little bit on the top of his head.
Oh, he has a tuft.
He's a little tuft on the top of his head, but he's got more. I think he's got more hair on the top of his ears.
Oh yeah, no,
than
he
does on the top of his head.
He does.
He can make a wig. He can make he can make one of those Jimmy Olsen wigs that you took a picture of.
Yes.
Out of his ear hair.
I assume that's what Donald Trump has, and then it's just like really, really long. And then
it's repurposed. So his hair is actually just repurposed ear hair.
Yeah, it's just really, really long, and he just swirls it around, and then he just sort of does whatever's going on.
Is that what
it's just a big mat. It's like when I'd pick up off the floor after the cat. It's a big mat made of ear hair. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Hey, I'm here. I made this cool suit. I can get you She-Hulk using my cool suit."
My cool suit, and I love elephants and ear hair.
Man, do I love elephants and ear hair. These are great things.
And then, so what happens is, so then you get an eruption with apparently this proof that they're going to say that She-Hulk killed this woman or whatever.
Yes. And they're like, okay, well, she's a criminal. And her dad's like, well, I don't really like your deal, buddy, but you know what? We need She-Hulk off the street, so let's do this. He's like, okay, cool. Point me towards a TV camera. And since it's LA, everybody's like, please come in front of this TV camera.
Come in front of this TV camera and we'll get it out to everybody on TV. Hello.
Yeah.
We will interrupt.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, interrupting this MASH rerun.
And this Kardashian rerun.
Well, this is 1981.
I know. But I'm assuming the Kardashians will just be on TV forever.
Right.
So much so that they'll like loop back in time. And then it'll be like one of those things that like the minute somebody invented TV.
Oh, is this like the hot tub time machine story?
Yeah.
Where the killer from the future comes back.
It's exactly like that.
Murders.
Yes. So when the person who invented the television, I don't actually know who that was.
Steve Television.
Mr. Television, turns it on for the first time. It's just Kim Kardashian crying. And that is the first image we ever see on TV. Mm-hmm. So that's how that works. Hot tub time machine science is solid.
So he basically is like, well, no, they don't.
Well, he puts him in front of a.
No, he doesn't put him. He doesn't put him in front of a camera.
But he's in front of a camera.
Okay, but it's not.
No, it's not him. It's this guy's idea. It's not the dad.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought that's what we were saying here.
No. This guy's like, put me in front of a TV camera.
Like,
great.
Get me in front of all the television. So he goes on TV with this stupid suit on, and it just looks like a dumb.
It's just like a gray suit with like some yellow on it and some red panties.
And an elephant head.
And an elephant head, which I don't know why why is there an elephant head? There's literally no reason except this guy likes elephants.
But the elephant head has a bunch of gimmicks.
Yeah, but he could have done that in any other form. It doesn't have to be
No, it's just maybe just the elephant device.
He just really loves elephants. This guy's got a hard on for elephants, and he is a furry. So this is his fetish.
Well, he's a furry, all right. He's got furry ear hair.
And this is his fetish, and he just wants to make sure everybody else knows about it.
Yeah.
But he's pretending it's scientific. So that's
and it's funny because so there's this guy, the producer in the background that's like watching this guy because he's up here. He's like, "Hey,
put the head on." No.
What?
Put the head on.
Yeah. So he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna," he's basically explaining the suit and. The producer's like, man, this guy rags to riches. And here he is helping the common man because he's just
by inventing elephant suits.
By inventing elephant suits, he's like, you know what? Because the common man's gonna be able to afford that elephant suit.
We're all just gonna walk around.
I would. I'd try it for a week. Or at least a day. Maybe an hour.
I think the head would be a bit much.
Oh no, it's well. First of all, this guy, this guy's not in any shape to be doing it because he looks like a hairy egg. And
you're right, he does.
So he's like, so basically he's explaining the suit, and basically the dust come off, and they have chains on them.
Whatever.
And then
he issues.
he's got like pressure, and the snout's got all sorts of fun stuff on it.
He says the hands are supple enough to pick up a dime, yet strong enough to snap inch-thick iron bars.
I want a demonstration. Yeah, somebody throw a dime on the floor.
See if that dude can pick it up.
Actually, that would be funny if it's like somebody. I was and there's like change. He's like, see, supple.
He's like, I am so great. By the way, this suit's totally a match for She-Hulk, so I want her to come fight me right now.
I'm an idiot in an elephant suit. Come fight me.
Yeah, and so dorky boyfriend is watching it on TV, and he's like, oh, Jen, guess what? Check this out. This guy wants to fight She-Hulk because dorky boyfriend doesn't know that that she is She-Hulk.
Yeah, he does.
No, this guy doesn't know.
Really?
I don't think so.
I think he has to at this point.
Does he?
He has to at this point.
I didn't think he knew, but maybe he does. So she's like, whatever. So she's kissing on this guy. And then there's like a face in the window who looks like Mr. Satan or Hercule from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Or Frank Zappa.
Or Frank Zappa.
If you need a more broader reference. So basically, or you could say if you want to
just basically like any dude from 1979.
Or based on how he's dressed, Schneider from One Day at a Time. So we're gonna So
and he's just like looking in the window, just being like,
well, it's funny because he's looking at first when he's looking in the window and she's kissing him and he's like, ha, right? He's kind of happy. And then the next panel, because they're talking, and she's just like, because she's like, maybe she doesn't know.
I don't think he knows.
How does he not know?
That's the thing. I don't think he knows yet. So that's why it's like he doesn't really know.
Okay, because she's like, I have to remain Jen Walters so I can be with you.
Right. That's what she's
because he's like, because she's like, yeah, whoever She-Hulk is, maybe she might want to fight him, And she's like, I'm sure she's got better things to do. And she's like, I want to be
hang out with my boyfriend.
like hang out with my loser friend.
We're gonna listen to records.
We're gonna listen to some Styx.
It's Fleetwood Mac,
and then as they're about to get it on, they're interrupted by.
I don't know if they're getting it on. They're just kissing.
No, she's like, I'm sure. She says, I'm sure that even She-Hulk has better things to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know one thing I'd like to do right now.
Yeah, I know, but they're not like naked or anything.
But they're gonna do it.
He's just suggesting they should have sex.
I'm just saying, that's the thing. So they're about to get it on. They're about to, they would have did it right.
I say there's a couple more steps before getting it on, including taking off clothing, but
I'm just saying there's gonna be some heavy petting.
All right, I'll agree.
But they're interrupted by Schneider,
who's banging on the window.
Because now he's first he went from being to angry pound. And this guy's name is Zapper.
Sure.
I think he's the landlord. I don't know what he is.
No, he's her childhood friend.
Oh, is she?
He's her childhood friend and a med student, and he knows that she's She-Hulk.
He's a med student?
Yeah, it says like something med student or whatever.
Dr. Zappa?
Dr. Zappa. So
is that why he's Zapper? Because he looks like Zappa?
Yes. And so
I get it.
She's like, I gotta open the door for him, even though he's just creepily staring at us through this window, and he's all pissy.
Yeah.
And he's like, meh, I don't really even know what he's yelling at her for here.
Because she's basically...
And he yells at the boyfriend, and he's just a dick.
Because he introduces them, and then he's like... he introduces them, and he's like, well... he's like upset because she's, he's creeping on her, and he likes her. And
right. And so he's like, meh, and then he like storms off. And so she's like, but I gotta go after him, boyfriend, you don't understand. No, that is the wrong response. The response is let him fucking go. But so she's like, no, I gotta go after this guy who feels entitled to my attention. So, you stay here and I'll go take my boobs and go over here. So she goes outside and the boyfriend's like, man, this always happens. She doesn't love me. I'm a loser. So he's having feels. She goes outside and she's like, wait. And she's like, you don't understand, like, whatever happened between you and She-Hulk is between you and She-Hulk, not you and me. Because I guess something is going on with him and She-Hulk.
Apparently they had a
thing, a kiss.
Because they had a crush, but then I think he got to hook it up with She-Hulk or something.
I don't, whatever. It's just whatever it is, it's a mess. So then she becomes She-Hulk just like in the middle of her driveway.
Yeah, she gets all
angry. And
he's
like, somebody can see you. And she's like, I don't care. And then she starts kissing on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh, by the way, drive me to Elephant Man because I want to go fight him.
Well, she's She-Hulk. Can't she just like run and jump like the Hulk does?
I don't know. She likes to drive, maybe. Well, so this guy takes the car and they drive to Elephant Man. Who's in the middle of the street. So.
Yeah, and so as they go, and they're like, hey, look, She-Hulk's in that, people are like, She-Hulk's in that car, and then, like, Elephant Man's like, I'm here, So they start fighting.
Yep.
There's a bunch of brawling.
There's just a bunch of brawling. There's a bunch of...
He apparently uses his...
Oh, I think what's really funny is when this guy originally started describing what this elephant costume can do, it was like, he's really strong, he's got great strength, he's very agile... just listing like a lot of physical attributes, and then he's like, oh, and he can listen to weak communications. You're like, what? Like, it didn't matter. Like, there was a list, and that doesn't fit in the list. Like, that's a separate list.
Also, he's got a sweet ham radio built in.
Yeah, and so he's like, oh, I can hear She-Hulk talking in the car, so I'll zap them with elephant sonar? So
he uses, apparently, a certain sonar to...
Elephants are known for sonar.
To pick up... he says, they don't know that the audio system built into my ears is sensitive enough to pick up, amplify their voices from... So he knew they were coming. apparently he can hear. He's got super hearing, and
Whatever.
he can hear. So that's creepy. And he can use a sonic trumpet to, he yells, "Make way for the Elephant Man," and then that hurts everybody's ears.
Yeah, so Shield gets out of the car, and they start fighting.
She looks like I fought
Iron Man to a standstill.
Yeah.
I've kicked a lot of other people's asses.
I kicked some ass.
You're not going to win. So they start fighting.
Yeah, they fight. He picks up for being a guy, a common man. He's ripping off the telephone poles.
He's pulling telephone poles out.
And ruining people's power.
Yeah, he's just kind of not really thinking. He just wants to show that his suit really works, and so he's fighting, and he wraps his trunk around her, and he hits her with a big face full of gas.
Well, he gets her close.
Yeah,
and
because his trunk is like a boa constrictor basically. He's every time she moves, it gets tighter, and then he hits her with a face full of gas.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see here. It's she's got the hot trunk. It's funny. This is stupid.
It's so dumb.
Just fighting him with the stupid trunk. She's punching him in the face.
Yeah, it's not working.
Which, to be honest, I understand. She-Hulk is supposed to be strong as fuck. This guy, whatever
he's just in a suit.
I mean, it's not like a Hulkbuster
suit can't
thing.
be that good.
And the guy inside the suit is not.
That's the thing. It's wouldn't the Iron Man suit be a lot stronger than this suit?
100%. Yeah.
So if she took down Iron Man, this guy should not be a problem.
Yeah.
But, comics. So she passes out because he hits her with the gas.
Hits her with gas.
Then we cut to the repair shop where Jen's car is getting fixed, and Banana Attorney Man is like, "Hey, I'm here to see." I don't know if it's Jen's car. Hold on.
I don't really understand here.
No, it is her car. So apparently he's like, "Hey, I want to see that her car was doing okay at the time of the wreck." Because I guess it was Jen's car, but there was another woman driving it.
Right.
So they're like, well, and if it was tip-top shape, then that means She-Hulk she absolutely killed this woman by shoving her car off a thing. And she died. And he's like, no, actually, the brakes are totally fucked with. And here, I'll show you right here that this is totally fucked with. Here's the thing that was cut. And the gas
files.
pedal was jammed open. So
She-Hulk in forensic files.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, you got mustaches in here and stuff, too.
That's true. So. He's like, so yeah, the car's actually absolutely been tampered with. And he's like, then Banana Attorney is like, oh shit, he totally wanted to set her up. But it means I was wrong when I hit She-Hulk with my car. I guess that's what happened. He saw She-Hulk trying to stop this car, and he thought she was trying to hurt this woman.
So he hit her with her car.
He hit her with his car, and then
I shouldn't have laughed at that.
And then hit Jen's car, which I don't know why they have anything to look at because it went off a bridge and hit a oil tanker and exploded. Yeah. So how they're looking at a lot of car right now is beyond.
Yeah, and her car should have been
it should be in literally ashes.
She's not gonna get that fixed in a day.
No, you're never getting that fixed again. That is totaled. I hope you have good insurance because it's over. And then he feels bad and he's making sad faces.
He's like,
oh man, I was wrong. I've provided evidence against She-Hulk when she wasn't responsible.
I'm sad. I'm a banana.
So then Elephant Man.
Oh, do you want to talk about this ad real quick?
Nah.
No.
There's just a stupid ad look like a dick.
Phallic ads.
That's it. It just looks like a dick.
It's Spider-Man and Jeffrey from Toys R Us. Looks like they're holding a mic, and Jen thinks it looks like a dick.
It does look like a dick. It looks like they're both like Spider-Man looks really interested in that dick.
Well,
and Jeffrey looks like he's about to kiss it.
Yeah, well,
It's just a dick. Anyway, so I'm a 13-year-old.
I know.
So then we finally get Elephant Man drags She-Hulk to her dad's office. Or the police station, whatever.
Well, what's going on here with all this stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I just
she's talking. Yeah, this is all because he hates
She-Hulk.
He hates She-Hulk, but he's like, well, I guess we're just not gonna. We're gonna have to.
But he needs evidence to put her away or something.
But thankfully, Elephant Man, Man Elephant has subdued She-Hulk, and he's outside of the office, and he's like, yo. I got the She-Hulk. I saw that poster. I recognized her. Now I beat her up, and now I have her.
Yeah, win.
But she comes to.
Yeah, she's like,
and
yeah, you shouldn't have loosened your grip on me because here I am. And
because I'm She-Hulk, and I'm like way stronger than anybody else because I got Hulk blood in me. You know, which I don't know how that happened. Her origin is just doesn't make any sense.
He bled all over her.
No, he didn't. He bled all over her.
I don't know.
He was in a pro wrestling match and he bladed. He was wrestling the Thing.
It splashed onto her.
The Hulk was wrestling the Thing in a pro wrestling match and he bladed, and she was like,
splashed onto She-Hulk when she was in the front row.
She was in the front row as an ECW show,
and now she is
XPW or whatever. Yeah,
I just found a really white hair.
Oh,
that's mine. That's really depressing. All right. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. It was just like
your hair is also kind of blonde.
No, that was white.
Oh.
My hair's like 9 colors right now. I really gotta get it fixed. Anyway, so then they start fighting again. And he uses his like elephant tusk.
He uses his elephant tusk,
to climb a building.
Which, come on.
They have like chains coming out of them.
Are these things that good?
No. This whole thing is stupid. So he's even commenting, he's like, man, I should put air conditioning in here. It's really warm.
Because my ear hair is sweating as fuck. Hey, what's going on here? I want to look. What are you doing?
They're fighting.
I want to read. I think there's more fun going on here. Yeah, so he stomps on her, and then she throws. I mean, they're just fucking up this downtown.
Yeah, he throws a bench at her. At one point, he throws her into a telephone pole. And then she does something that breaks his hydraulic system.
Yeah, she fucks up his elephant suit because she's She-Hulk and she's super powerful.
Yes. And of course there's a bunch of news cameras, by the way. So everybody's filming this as they like wreck a hole in the building and, whatever. But he's like, I got to get this because, I can feel my hydraulics failing and I got to stop her before it happens. Well, that doesn't happen. She destroys him.
Yeah, she just slammed.
And then he's like, wait, I gotta give up. Get me the news cameras. I need to make a retraction.
I suck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So then her dad and Banana Attorney come out, and they're like, She-Hulk, and she's like...
Yeah, he's there to tell everybody that basically he gets on the camera and tell everybody that he sucks.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was totally wrong. But like first, the Walters are like, wait, She-Hulk, Sheriff Walters is like, you don't have to prove anything. We know you didn't kill that woman. And she's like, yeah, duh. I fucking told you that. And he's like, you should be a little bit more grateful. And she's like, no, I was going to clear myself, so fuck you. And so she runs away. She runs away while the guy's like, you know what? I shouldn't sell these suits to the public. Sorry about my announcement.
Sorry about this ugly elephant suit. I don't think it's fit for consumption for regular men.
Yeah.
I like her running away here.
Yeah, so
she's like, goodbye.
Yeah, so she runs, goes and gets herself together as Jen Walters and runs into Banana Attorney, who's very sad. He's like, I have somebody else to hate besides She-Hulk. It is me. And he just like mopes down the hallway. And she's like, okay, bye.
I hate myself.
Glad we're on the same page.
Maybe he's like, I'm off to buy smaller glasses.
He's like, maybe I won't hate myself so much of these glasses if I can't see myself as well.
It'd be funny if we would have pulled a banana out of his suit and started eating it.
Just sadly chewing. I would have liked that. So then she goes home and the boyfriend is packed. And she's like, wait, what are you... And he's like, I realize that you don't really love me, so...
Well, because he gets... Cousin Oliver...
Because you literally ran off with another man and didn't come back for hours.
You really ran off with another man and came back for hours. And yeah, exactly.
That's it.
You ran off with Frank Zappa...
For hours.
to go jam, and then you never came back.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's like, I gotta go... I feel because this guy knows he's a loser.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let's face it, he's a loser. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. He's trying because he's trying. I'm like trying. He's like, I'm out there trying to get jobs, but
yeah.
I lost all my money in this radio station because I bought a radio station for like a couple months and then I fucked it up.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
In the '80s, it's like it's like a movie. It's like it was probably like a boob comedy.
Oh
without the boobs.
Well, there's boobs in this book.
The She-Hulk's boobs.
There are definitely boobs in this book.
Yeah, and he's just like, well, Jen, I gotta go. I'm just gonna drag you down. And She-Hulk's having a very...
And then she gets sad. And she like leans against the door and cries because apparently that's a thing you do.
Yeah. I like how the She-Hulk issue ends with her as a human crying, not She-Hulk just throwing an elephant into the garbage.
Yeah. And just smashing that suit.
Just being like, just fuck this suit, fuck that. Ah.
Fuck you, suit. And so that's it.
Yeah, this guy leaves because he's like, well, I guess you're trying to sell the house, and that's probably.
He's like, that's also a thing going on. You might want to figure out. And he just leaves, and she's like, well, she doesn't know anything about it, of course, but whatever.
Poor cousin Oliver.
Yeah, so he leaves. Bye, cousin Oliver. He's gonna go get a philosophy degree or something. I mean, I can't really talk. You and I went to art school, for fuck's sake.
Well, we did. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we're surprised he wasn't in our classes. But, that's it for She-Hulk. The Savage She-Hulk. Number 17 from June 1981. Would you read the next issue?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would. I like She-Hulk.
I got a few more of these.
Yeah, I do. I like She-Hulk.
We should. These are actually... Well, I don't know how hard it is to... I don't know if these are collected or not.
Oh, I don't know.
They might be. I wouldn't mind trying to find the initial run of these because it's weird stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just it's Lady Hulk and there's drama and there's
boobs.
Apparently there are gigantic cans.
Huge tits.
Guys, you got to see these cans. I mean you got this is I mean
she's got big boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a chesty lady.
So
it happens.
I know it happens. I'm just I'm saying, but I would read it too.
Yeah.
I have a few more of these. I like them. And I want to I specifically sought this one out.
Yeah.
Because she's fighting an elephant man on the cover.
Well,
I had no idea what it was about or anything like that. I just know. I think
it's an elephant man.
I think it was like maybe I was on Tumblr and somebody posted this picture of this issue, and I was like, I gotta read that.
Yeah, because it's a goddamn elephant man.
She's fighting a man elephant. I mean, sadly, it's not.
It's too bad it's not a real.
It's not a real elephant that became. I was like, I'm a man. You know.
Yeah.
It's like no, it's like a idiot in a suit.
Yeah, I don't like it when it ends up being a suit. I want him to be a mutant, like a freak.
Well, there is a guy. There was a mutant, Mamoax.
Mamoax?
Mammoth. So it was like mammoth, but Mamox.
So he was a mammoth man?
Yeah.
Was he floofy? Like
yeah.
A hairy mammoth?
Yeah.
Was he like Snuffleupagus?
Yeah. Yeah. Mo. He I think he's dead now. But yeah, Mamomax.
Well, that's what happens when you give characters dumb names.
Memo.
They're more likely to die.
What happened to this guy? Is this guy doing anything? I should find out.
I wonder, but that's his only appearance.
Oh, yeah, he's not coming back. He's hanging out with Porcupine. Apparently, Porcupine is back.
Oh, yeah, no, you should have seen Shawn yesterday. Holy shit, Shawn was accosting.
I had a mini freak out.
Accosting the poor guy who runs the bug. He's like, did you know this guy was back? And he's like, I am just trying to listen to David Bowie.
What?
He's like, I'm just trying to sit here and listen to this David Bowie cover album that I play all the time. You're interrupting.
No, I didn't know
he was alive.
I didn't know. I just asked him. I said, "What's the deal?" Because I'm sitting there looking at the new comic.
You just assume that he knows every
because
character.
he works at the fucking comic book store.
Yeah, but you're not going to know.
I respect him maybe if he doesn't because he doesn't know everything. But I figured he probably has.
He can't know everything.
He answers questions. People probably call up and be like, "Yo, what up with Porcupine?" And he's got to be able to answer that.
That's what the internet is for. There are so many comics now. Many.
Well, this is the problem. This is the problem. This is a problem because I walked in and I'm looking because it wasn't okay. I'm looking at the Marvel books and like Solo, like all these Spider-Man series. Spider-Man has also rans like C-level friends of his.
Yeah.
Have series again. Like Prowler's got a fucking series.
Yeah.
Solo has a series, and then there's Spider-Woman, which obviously is a big deal. But fucking Porcupine is back. We know Porcupine is dead. We talked about it here.
Yeah.
I don't. And I was like, Porcupine's back.
yeah,
I go, hey, Mike, at the comic book, what's up with Porcupine? Is he back? And he's like,
Yeah,
what is this?
how could you
Okay.
possibly know? There are so many goddamn comic books. How are you supposed to keep track of everyone who is alive in comics? Do you know there's so many characters?
I don't know. If I was my job, I'm not saying, look, they do a great job at that start. But if
You wouldn't know everything.
I would try to. I would try to be as well versed in it, and I would be like, "Hey guys, Porcupine's back."
So you mean like every Wednesday, all the new books would come in?
That's all I would do was read those comics.
You would make time in between serving customers and making sure everything, people aren't stealing or whatever. That you would look through all these books to be like, "Oh man, Porcupine. That's knowledge I need."
Well, if Porcupine's coming back, I'm paying attention.
Yeah, but you didn't buy the book.
No. I did, but
You're like, I need to know, but I won't pay money to know why he's back.
because then I'd have to follow up with the rest. What if he came back earlier in other Spider-Woman books? I don't have the
That is
capital
what
to buy
the
that right
internet is
now.
for. That is what the internet exists for.
Could somebody look? What was Nick? I think it's Nick. Nick, you wanted to help us out with Nick Prom. You said you would fact check for us.
Oh, nobody wants to fact check Porcupine. Nobody cares.
I do. I want to know what's up. Last time we left him, he fell.
Did your fingers break? Are you not able to do a Google?
I'll look it up.
Can you not ask Siri what's going on?
Siri don't know. Siri doesn't know.
She'll just give you actual listings from
He's
real
like, here's what I found. I'm like,
porcupines.
you didn't tell me the answer.
No, she'll be like, here's what I found. And it's just like real porcupine.
No, what happened to the porcupine? I was like, here's a porcupine. I'm like, that's not what I want to know.
Porcupines are often killed. You're like, what?
Hopefully she'll find me that video of that porcupine eating the
Oh,
pumpkin.
yeah. See, there you go. That would make you happy.
That'd be a good comic. I'd buy that.
Just illustrate that video in illustrated form. The best
Yes.
part of that video
It's a
is
flip book.
The best part of that video is the noise.
Well, you get a little CD.
Oh. Or maybe it's like one of those kids
It's the
books.
most expensive internet video ever.
It's one of those kids books that you push the button and it makes a sound.
Yes, please. Thank you. Please somebody make that for me.
It's just like
He's like, dude, it's like this. He talks.
he does.
Anyways, if you have anything you want to input into this conversation about She-Hulk or Porcupine or Man Elephant, or even go back to Guy Gardner and his buddies, worst collection ever at gmail.com. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's us. You can email us there, and we'll gladly talk to you there. We also talk to you on Twitter at Angry Hero Shawn for me, Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN on Twitter, Instagram, and my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com.
I'm just looking at you. I'm sorry. I married you.
Your idiot husband.
I love you. You know that.
I know that, but
I just couldn't believe you were harassing Mike about Porcupine. I was like, what the hell is happening?
I just wanted to seem. Actually, I felt that would make me look cool in front of him.
Oh, is that what makes you look cool?
Because I wanted.
Is that it?
I kind of did because I wanted to be like, well, I know this from Captain America 315, meh, or whatever 318 or.
You know he probably sees like 19 dudes like that a day.
Yeah, but I'm hip.
Sure.
I'm pretty cool.
You are pretty cool.
Was I wearing my?
I don't remember.
I was wearing my Lucha Vavoom shirt, so that was probably cool.
Yeah, totally cool. And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com and jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
And please go on the iTunes and give us 5 stars if you think we deserve it. Leave a review. Tell a friend. Share the iTunes link. Share wherever you listen to the show. Rate it. Support it. We're on SoundCloud. We're on Stitcher. We're tune in. We're on all those places. So please check it out. And if you dig it, tell a friend. That's the biggest way to spread the show. It's get people to be like, hey, I like these guys. I like what they say. I think it's how we usually spread our show. People think that we're funny.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we are.
Yeah, I think about 75% of the time we're funny. The other 25%.
I find us hilarious, but I don't know if anybody else agrees.
Yeah.
And that's understandable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's it for this week. and we'll see you again next time.
Bye.